Hey y'all, what it is, what it be, it's your girl Mecca back in here with another video. I hope you guys are having a great holiday season. For those of you who are new here, thank you so much. I've gotten so many new subscribers over the last couple of weeks. Thank you for being here. For my old heads, okay, that's been in my inbox, I'm back. I'm here. I told y'all I wasn't going nowhere this time, and I meant it, okay? Because I done paid like $400 for this camera that we're recording on. So we're going to put her to use. This video is a video that I have been so excited to make, and I'm so excited that I can finally sit down and make it. Side note, if you see me looking down, sis got all the notes, okay? I took notes because y'all know I'm ramble and I'm trying not to make this video too long. But this video is going to be about my Saturn return experience. For those of you who know anything about astrology, you know that Saturn has backed it all the way up and double parked that ass into Aquarius finally. So it is out of it's out of Capricorn. And if you have your Saturn in Capricorn, you're done with your Saturn return. If you have your Saturn in Aquarius, you starting. Power to you. But this is going to be my account. One thing that I realized when I was doing research about Saturn returns is a lot of people didn't really produce content that gave a first-hand account of their experience throughout their Saturn return. A lot of people were just talking about what a Saturn return is. I'm not going to get into that too much in this video, so if that's something that you would like to know more about, you can type it in YouTube, just type in Saturn return and videos galore will pop up. But for the sake of time in this video, I don't really want to like dive too deep into that. What I will say is Saturn is a planet of discipline, it is a planet of restriction, it is a planet of time. It's real big daddy energy. It's one of those things that I like to akin to like when you have a father, right? And your father is just really hard on you because he knows that you can do it and he wants to see you do your best and he wants what's best for you. That's Saturn. And a lot of times we feel like the father figures in our life, and I say father figures because I don't talk to my dad, so it wasn't my dad. It was my grandfather. But I look back and like I laugh because there's been so many times where I was like, my grandpa's being so mean to me, and I look back now, I'm like, no, he was being hard on you because he wanted you to learn these lessons. He wanted you to do the best that you can do. He wanted you to not sleep on your potential, and that's Saturn in a nutshell. Okay. Prefacing this by saying I am not versed in astrology. I know my chart, so there's that, okay? But what is a Saturn return? Real quick before we get into the video. A Saturn return is when Saturn comes back to the exact same place that it was in the sky when you were born. It happens around the age of 27 and lasts anywhere from 2.5 to 3 years. Like I said a few minutes ago, for us who had Saturn and Capricorn in our charts, in our birth charts, we just got finished with ours on the 18th of this month. For those of you who have Saturn in Aquarius, you're about to start yours, right? And so one of the things that I really wanted to pinpoint during this series, because it's going to be a series of videos, because I was going to make one big video, but then I was like, that would be way too long. So I decided to chop everything down, break it into pieces, and I'm going to be doing videos basically about each lesson that I felt like I had to learn and was really pivotal in my life during my Saturn return. This video is just going to be an overview, just kind of highlighting certain things that I feel like are important that we're going to go into more deep depth about in later videos. But for me, my Saturn return lasted 3 years. It started on December 21st, 2017. It ended on December 18th, 2020. So I was in it for about 3 years. And y'all, when I say that this has been the longest 3 years of my life, it has been the longest, hard. I'll put it to y'all like that. Imagine having 2020 3 years in a row. That was my Saturn return experience. And a lot of it was because I made it harder on myself by not wanting to, what's the word that I want to use? By not wanting to admit a lot of things to myself. But I feel like once I started to do that, once I started to admit things to myself and be honest and real raw, because Saturn's gonna make you look at everything, okay? Once I decided to really do the work, it started to get a little easier. Sorry about that, y'all. So for myself, my Saturn return took place in my 8th house. And there were a couple of different things that I felt like really, it was Saturn. Okay, like that's the best way I can put it. For those of you who have been following me on social media for a while, you would know that from May 2018, no, 19, 19? Yeah, from May 2019 up until March of 2020, I was homeless. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Let me put my phone on silent because I don't know why every time I'm recording a reading or a video, my phone is going off. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second, you guys. Turn that thing off, vibrate. Okay. So, yeah, from 2018, I'm sorry, from 2019 to 2020, to the beginning of 2020, right around coronavirus, when the coronavirus came to the United States. That's a whole nother video. But, I was homeless. And I point that out because it's like a trickle down effect. Um, let me read you guys what Jesus. Let me read you guys the pivotal aspects of my Saturn return, things and lessons that I felt like were the forefront of my Saturn return. So we're gonna start with my relationship with my parents. That was definitely pivotal. Boundaries, childhood wounds, and my relationship to money. All of these things, and that's why I say it was a trickle down effect. And the first video after this one that I'll be doing is my relationship with my parents because it affected all of those other things, especially boundaries. Had I really solidified my boundaries, I would not have been homeless, most likely. And I forgot to say, listening to my intuition. If I would have done those things, I probably would not have been homeless. But I do feel like being homeless taught me a lot of lessons. It taught me lessons about my boundaries. It taught me lessons about my relationship with money. So all of these things were just kind of intertwined into one, and I had to kind of pull them all apart and look at them separately in order to really get the gems, the jewels, and the lessons that I needed to be able to go through my Saturn return a little bit more easier. Okay. Um, one piece of advice that I will say is make sure you are not resistant to the lessons that Saturn is trying to bring into your life. I feel like a lot of people are, I don't want to say scared of change, and I always say this. I don't feel like we're scared of change. I feel like we're scared of the unknown that comes after the change. And for me, I was holding on to so many things from my childhood, from my past, and I felt like I was holding on to those things because I didn't know who I was without them. And so one thing that happened was when Saturn came through and ripped that up out my life, I had to really rebuild my foundation. I had to rebuild myself. I had to really isolate myself. And like, I'm not even gonna say I isolate myself. Saturn isolated the out of me. Okay, like y'all, when I say I was by myself, me and my brother weren't speaking. My boyfriend was in jail, which that's going to be in one of the videos about me being homeless. But my boyfriend was in jail for most of my Saturn return. He's still not home. He's out, but he's not home yet. Um, it was a lot. So I was isolated and I was forced to sit and look at myself. And then when you know who exploded onto the scene in the beginning of 2020, I'm not going to say that because a lot of people saying their content is getting restricted if they mention it in the video, which I already did. But anyway, when you know who brought her raggedy stuff into 2020 and we were forced to shelter at home, I had to really look at myself. And granted, I was still working, I was still going to work, but there was no other really major interaction outside of me going to work and interacting with my coworkers. So I had to really sit and I had to really pick apart everything. And it was when I started to pick things apart, I could see how all of the things that I just mentioned really related. Um, so yeah, like in hindsight, my Saturn return just completely like came through and just destroyed my foundation. It was like a whole 3 years tower moment. And I can see now that, or I can see now where these things were needed because they just needed to be healed. Like I was asking for all these things. I was wanting to have a better life. I was wanting to have better relationships, better communication, and all of these things. But all of this gunk from my past that I hadn't dealt with was in the way, and so all that had to be taken out, and it needed to be looked at under a microscope. And I needed to be set on the path of healing because the things that I was asking for were not matching up with how I was operating in my day-to-day life. And so I had to really surrender completely to God's plan for my life, to what I was supposed to be doing. And that's another thing that really was a big pivotal thing in my life, is me accepting the calling on my life, accepting that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, that I'm supposed to be doing tarot, that I'm supposed to practice hoodoo, that I'm supposed to be doing all of these things that I had been shying away from because I didn't feel like I knew enough. I didn't feel like I was worthy enough. And I feel like Saturn was like, all right, after this Saturn return, you can no longer say that you're not equipped and you're not prepared and you're not knowledgeable for the things that you should be doing, okay? We didn't put you through all of that in your life, in your past, for you to just sit and hold all that to yourself. Share. So that's what this new Mecca that y'all see is going to be doing. Everything about me has changed. I'm no longer the same person that I was before my Saturn return started, and I'm proud of the person that I've grown into. Was it hard? Yes. Would I do it again? Probably not. But was it worth it? Absolutely. So I want you guys to look at your Saturn returns like that. Don't be afraid. Just be really open. Be really fluid. Be non-resistant to it is the best I can say. And learn the lessons that you need to learn. Okay? Don't make this hard on yourself. Because one thing about Saturn is after you do the work, after you do what you're supposed to do, you'll be rewarded in it. I'm sitting in one of my rewards right now. I'm sitting in my home that I did not have before my Saturn return. So that's all I wanted to say for this video. The next video will be dealing with my relationship with my parents. So if that is something that you are interested in seeing, make sure you, excuse me, make sure you subscribe, hit that notifications button so you know when I upload. And thank you guys so much for being here. Also, I wanted to add really quick, I have opened my Hoodoo supply shop. I am selling oils. Right now I only have a couple of oils up, but you can go to my site and see all of that. I have a money oil, I have a protection oil, a discernment oils, a plethora of oils, okay? And I also have some supplies. So if you are interested in that, please go, excuse me, and shop my site. It's SaMecca.com. I'm going to put everything down. I have the hiccups, Lord Jesus. I'm going to put everything down in the information and then underneath the bar so you guys can just click the link and have easy access to that. Also, I do want to let you guys know, which Twitter already kind of knows, but around my birthday, which is January 15th, shout out Capricorn Nation, by the way, happy birthday. I am going to be starting a Patreon. There's going to be a lot of information that I'm going to be sharing in my Patreon that is not for the masses. And I'm going to be definitely weeding out people. So the easiest way that I can do that is Patreon. So I'll have that up around my birthday, January 15th. I'll give you guys more information about that in another video because this video is already almost 15 minutes long. So with that being said, shop my site. Be on the lookout for my Patreon. As always, pick you up a copy of my book, Foolish, my first novel. Foolish 2 is coming this spring. I'm excited about that. I hope you guys have a happy holiday. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. I'll probably be back before New Year's Eve, so I'm going to hold off on saying that. But I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will talk to y'all next time. Y'all know my motto. Be great. Get bread. Stay all the way live. And with everything, be intentional. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.